Here's your wrestling news for November 2nd, 2021. And your headlines for today include Kevin Owens' WWE contract situation and former stable with AEW stars referenced on Raw. The Raw Women's title feud seems to end with a new challenger emerging. Becky Lynch reacts after a fan mentions her baby on Raw. Has WWE given up on Survivor Series 2021 already? The Elite parodies Squid Game in hilarious fashion. Damian Priest shows a new side on Raw and is confronted by his next challenger. Long-rumored Kevin Dunn WWE story turns out to be true. Raw Tag Team division is as strong as ever. WWE Ruthless Aggression Season 2 to debut, Steve Austin's next Broken Skull Sessions guest. Reason why former WWE star Bronson didn't appear at Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory, and more. We are starting today with Raw, as Kevin Owens had plenty to say last night with a few interesting lines during his in-ring promo. Interrupting WWE Champion Big E and #1 contender Seth Rollins, Owens spoke about how he gives his all in the ring, even if he can't remember the last time that worked out for him. Nevertheless, Owens promised to continue giving his all, whether it's for 3 more months or 3 more years. That last line was in reference to the prizefighter's current contract, as his future in pro wrestling has been the subject for debate ever since it was revealed that his current deal expires on January 31st, 2022. Big E also had an interesting line saying that there can only be one face of WWE, adding that this isn't Mount Rushmore. Fans online quickly speculated that this was a reference to the PWG stable Owens was in with AEW's Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, formed shortly before he signed with WWE in 2014. In September, both Owens and the Bucks used Mount Rushmore references on Twitter to tease the former Universal Champion joining AEW when his current WWE contract is up. There's still plenty of rumors and speculation on Owens' future, and tonight's Raw only added fuel to the fire. This segment built towards a non-title main event in which Big E defeated Owens in a great match. The chemistry between the two was fantastic, and there was some exciting spots, including Rollins getting involved, trying to cost Big E the match. The Architect's plan backfired, as it was Owens who took the loss, and post-match challenged Rollins for next week's Raw. Owens even apologized for Rollins' interference, but the WWE Champion wasn't hearing it, as he dropped Owens with a big ending to the delight of the cackling Rollins. With Owens' contract up soon, a potential WWE title run could be what convinces the talented superstar to stay, and with WWE losing so many big names to AEW, they really can't afford to lose another. More from Raw now, which opened with Bianca Belair challenging Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch for the title. That match had been promoted all week long as Belair looked to topple yet another horsewoman to become champion again. Given the circumstances, it was unlikely that Bianca Belair was going to dethrone the man, but that didn't stop the pair from having a good match, which saw the crowd firmly behind the EST of WWE. As Raw's top female face, the argument could be made that WWE should have had an alternate first feud for Lynch now that she's back on Raw, and it was the man who retained thanks to a handful of tights. This controversial finish doesn't end the feud conclusively, but it does put it to rest for now, as we expect Belair to lead Team Raw into Survivor Series while Lynch faces the SmackDown Women's Champion, either Charlotte Flair or Sasha Banks, at the pay-per-view. WWE might have indicated that this is the end of Belair's Raw Women's title pursuits, but that's only for now, and by WrestleMania, we expect the former SmackDown Women's Champion to be back in the mix. Her push on SmackDown and being one of Raw's earliest draft picks only proves that WWE has long-term plans for Belair, which could see her become a champion again at WrestleMania. There was a fun moment after Lynch retained her title, in which a fan yelled to the man that her baby daughter Rue is so cute, and Lynch responded with a curt, "I know, she gets it from me." Cute babies aside, Lynch will next be feuding with Liv Morgan, who confronted the man during an interview later in the show, but there's a massive problem with this. Simply put, we're not sure how serious fans can take Morgan as a competitor after losing to Carmella, a woman who has never been pushed on the same league as Lynch and was an afterthought at SummerSlam mere moments before Lynch returned. Carmella has never been close to being the megastar Lynch is, yet we're supposed to believe the woman with fewer titles and fewer big wins is expected to challenge the Raw Women's Champion. The ending for this feud is already a giveaway, but that's not to say that Morgan doesn't deserve a push, as she's come a long way and fans love the young superstar. Unfortunately, this is the wrong time for Morgan, who almost certainly won't capture the Raw Women's title from Lynch, and after this feud, will presumably go to the back of the line when it comes to another opportunity. Then again, you can never say never in WWE, and as unlikely as it is, it could be Morgan representing Raw as Women's Champion leading up to Survivor Series. Do you think Morgan has any chance against Lynch, or is this story too obvious? Let us know in the comments. Each year, WWE touts the annual draft as the time that WWE shakes things up, but this year's picks haven't shaken much up at all. We still haven't seen all the new names and faces drafted to Raw like Gable Steveson, and despite not seeing the entirety of the new rosters, WWE are supposed to have a Raw vs. SmackDown showdown later this month. Survivor Series is less than 3 weeks away, and the build to the event hasn't even begun yet, and we're wondering why audiences should be invested in this battle of the brands when the superstars may not have a sense of loyalty to their own brands. Putting the draft so close to Survivor Series has always been a strange idea, and it's only gotten stranger by the fact that WWE have apparently forgotten that they need to actually start building to Survivor Series very soon. On last Wednesday's edition of Dynamite, the Elite appeared dressed as the Ghostbusters, but that wasn't the group's original plan. Instead, the group planned on wrestling as characters from Squid Game, the massively popular Netflix series, but Warner Media/TNT quickly forced AEW to change plans. No explanation has been given, but one theory is that Warner Media, who run HBO Max, didn't want to promote a Netflix property, while others have argued that TNT were just too shy to reference the social critique and grisly murder of the Korean phenomenon. Whatever the case, the Elite weren't going to let their Squid Game jumpsuits and masks go to waste, as the latest being the Elite features an episode-long Squid Game parody as part of the show's Halloween special, which also featured Private Party and Lulu Pencil. Thankfully, no members of the Elite were butchered by the others in an effort to wipe away their debt, although the ending of BTE is a huge spoiler for the show. Netflix's Squid Game has taken the world by storm, becoming the streaming platform's most successful show yet, after Netflix paid a reported $21.4 million for the rights. A huge topic right now, it was inevitable that the Elite would eventually reference the show, and while that didn't happen during Dynamite thanks to their broadcasters, the group got their way on their very own show. Last week, US champion Damian Priest defeated T-Bar thanks to a disqualification after the former Retribution member threw a chair at Priest, prompting him to snap. Meeting in a rematch last night, it made sense that this was a no disqualification match in an excellent showing for both men. Not only did it establish T-Bar as a single star to be reckoned with, but we also saw a different side of Damian Priest, which had been teased last week. In the rematch, the US champion didn't pull any punches as he ruthlessly attacked T-Bar with repeated chair shots, as commentators teased that the line between good and evil didn't exist for Damian Priest. After getting the win, Priest was confronted by Apollo Crews, who challenged the Archer of Infamy for the United States title. If this is the end of the Priest-T-Bar feud, then the short angle has served its purpose, and with a new feud waiting, Priest is progressing quite well with his new character. Since April 2020, WWE has let a ton of people go, but one name who's incredibly safe is Kevin Dunn. Seen by some as nothing more than a Vince McMahon yes man, Dunn is regarded as the most powerful name in WWE without the McMahon surname, but the reason for his power has been a topic of some debate. The long-standing rumor has been that in the company's very early years, Dunn's father saved WWF tapes from a burning trailer, and the chairman felt so indebted that he guaranteed both Dunn Sr. and Jr. lifelong jobs. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer seemingly confirmed the rumor, saying he'd heard about the story in the past, but said that the actions of Dunn's father isn't why Kevin Dunn is in the position he is today. While Dunn may have a lifelong job with WWE, Meltzer explained that the main reason he is in charge of so much backstage is that he's, quote, someone Vince can deal with. In a company where long-established names like Mark Carrano can be let go, being someone the chairman can deal with is a huge win for Dunn, who has overseen more divisions in WWE since the releases in spring this year. Dunn also has a hand in creative decisions, as he reportedly didn't get Billie Kay, which led to her release in April, as the WWE lifer has a guaranteed job under Vince McMahon. Back to Raw, as Austin Theory has been on a roll since returning to the red brand in the recent draft, earning back-to-back victories over Jeff Hardy. Now Theory's attention is turned to the Mysterios, as after beating Dominic last week, he faced Rey Mysterio on this week's show. In a backstage confrontation, it was clear that Rey would prove to be a much more difficult opponent for Theory than his son, and WWE made sure to protect both men with a DQ finish. Dominic's interference attacking Theory was caught by the ref, who awarded the win to the former NXT superstar, who remains undefeated, albeit thanks to a technicality, since returning to WWE Raw. Whilst Mysterio was gathering himself in the ring, Theory ducked to the outside to celebrate with a selfie as he continues to impress on the Red brand. This was WWE protecting Austin Theory while also ensuring that Rey Mysterio wasn't toppled off right away, as the 24-year-old star is set for a serious push on Raw. Raw's tag division also got a great showcase on last night's show, despite the company often paying little to no attention to it in the past. During the show, Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro got a new theme, which was played before they took a seat at commentary, where they watched the Dirty Dogs, 1 week removed from losing their title opportunity, face the Street Profits. The Dirty Dogs have been getting a good showing on Raw, and this week was no different, as the pair got another win, albeit thanks to a distraction by Omos. Omos appeared without AJ Styles, who is rumored to be out with an unforeseen injury, but the colossal Omos handled himself well, distracting the Profits and allowing Rude and Ziggler to get the win. Randy Orton looked to be set for a confrontation with Omos until the camera cut to a package featuring Damian Priest, which was an abrupt change to be sure, but the match and Orton-Omos confrontation effectively highlighted the strength of Raw's tag division. In February 2020, the WWE Network premiered a new documentary series focused on the Ruthless Aggression era, and now the show's second season has been announced. Peacock have announced that 2 new episodes of WWE Ruthless Aggression will air this month, with the first on November 21st, the day of Survivor Series, and the second the day after. Peacock also revealed that a new episode of Broken Skull Sessions will premiere on November 25th, with Stone Cold sitting down with Jeff Hardy. And after a lengthy career full of ups and downs, we're curious to see what the charismatic Enigma will have to say. And we're ending today with Jonah Rock, the former Bronson Reed, who'd been the topic of speculation prior to Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory event. At one point, it was reported that Rock had been booked for the show and had later been unbooked due to what was described at the time as unknown reasons. Speaking with Wrestling Inc. Daily, the former North American champion explained that he's dealing with a work visa issue, which is called a complete nightmare. The Australian wrestler is staying positive though, saying he thinks fans will see him around some promotions this month, and implied that it was these visa issues that kept him from Bound for Glory. Jonah Rock was one of 3 ex-superstars Impact wanted, as they tried and failed to get Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman for the show, and with reports that New Japan wants the former NXT superstar, we'll have to see where the ex-Bronson Reed goes when these visa issues are resolved. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.